Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is part 7 of my figure painting video on the Alpine figure of Max Wünsche. And as you can see, I've done some work off camera. I have actually finished painting the jacket of the fella, or at least the base color. I have finished the gun holster off camera, and I have base painted the binoculars right there. What we are going to do today is we are going to take a stab at the camo scheme on his vest, on his jacket. The paints that I'll be using, I showed you guys when I was doing the cap. So it's going to be the Revell Sand and the Vallejo Chocolate Brown out of the nice Waffen-SS camouflage set. Once again, I have to apologize for the camera setup. There's just no better way for me to do this at the current time. I hope that you will still be able to get the gist of what I'm doing. I will be, of course, using the same brushes that I have been using for the entire paint job. We will do this in steps, so I will paint one dot of paint and then I'll show you guys how it looks. I'm using the actual reference guide that was delivered with the figure so that I put the dots where they belong. We will start out with the sand color. Once again, that's the one. This is pretty thin right now because I used a lot of that for base painting some of my tanks, so I will not be thinning this any further to not ruin the paint entirely. Once again, you want to keep your brush pointy, or at least as pointy as possible, and then you pick the position where you think the instructions tell you to go, and then you just paint the outlines of the camo scheme that you want to do. I have to apologize for not posting videos for a longer time period now, but I have been busy, as you might have actually noticed when it comes to all the videos on my channel, not only the figure painting ones. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of stuff lately. But now that there's semester break is here and I'm at my girlfriend's currently, I have the opportunity to paint and to upload rather quickly, which I of course will be using to get you guys even more in the figure painting series, and for me to maybe get this little fella off my bench. So as you can see, right there is the camo dot that I now painted in the said yellow. Now we have to paint the outlines of that. I will be using the chocolate brown, the Vallejo model color 149 chocolate brown, the reference number 149, and I will use just the slightest bit. Or was that the chocolate brown I actually used the last time, guys? I guess it was. It wasn't. Was it? Or was it the saddle brown? I'm not sure. No, it was the chocolate brown. I'm rather sure it was the chocolate brown. I could have gone back here and taken a look, but I'm pretty sure it was the chocolate brown, and if not, I can still go back and redo it. So we just, once again, use a little bit of paint. We don't need to thin them, as they are really well thinned and really easy to use. And then we take the chocolate brown with a very pointy, thin brush. We don't want to carry a lot of paint because we don't want to ruin what we have done so far. and just paint the outlines of the camo dot that we just painted in the sand yellow. You don't actually have to be as perfectly accurate as those camo schemes were randomly applied. I don't know if you can see this on my back camera, but you should be able to see the shade, which is the brownish shade around the yellowy dot. I will be painting another dot now, so maybe you can then see it better. Once again, we start out with the yellow color, the sandish color. We use just a tiny bit of paint with the brush. You don't want to have the brush like dripping in paint, because if you have the brush dripping in paint, you will almost always ruin your figure. Because either the layer of paint you apply is too thick, or you're not able to control where the paint goes. Which both are things that you want to minimize when painting figures at a small scale. And I consider 1/35 scale small. One other additional thing here. You do not have to actually use the camo scheme that the figure comes with. I'm just doing that because I really like the way the camo scheme looks. And with a as random camo scheme as this is, you can really put the dots wherever you like without actually ruining the model. You just should make it look randomly, just like I did right there. And you always want to make sure that you use the paints and you really cover the spot. You don't want the base color to shine through. So there you see, that's the second dot. I will do the one half of the jacket now. I will do two more dots actually on this video sequence here. Once again, we start out with our dark yellowish color, or not dark yellowish, it's sand yellow. Now we will do the big interior dot here. Okay. You always got to keep in mind that you can always do the things over, but only if you use really small amounts of paint, because the more paint you use, the harder it is to rectify errors, because the more paint you use, the more detail you cover, and if you use too much paint, you will cover all the detail, and yeah, that would kind of ruin your figure. Which I just did. I just painted over the cord for the binoculars, but that's not a problem because I'm using really small amount of paint, so I'll be able to just go over the binocular cord again after I'm done with this, and everything is back to normal. Go. So now it's only the big badge on his shoulder that's left for this side, which I will be doing now, which will be probably the biggest badge that this guy actually has on this side of his body. Once again, I'm using the paint callouts or the camo scheme and the placement of the dots that the figure comes with, or the instructions come with. So I'm not doing them the way I would want them to be, but the way the figure actually looks. This is why I placed them where I placed them. Not because I think, wow, that's good, but because I think that's the way it should be. Need to do some touching up over here. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, that seals the yellow part, so now we only need to paint the outlines in chocolate brown. And once we have done that, I guess that sums up this part of the video series. I will then, of course, paint the rest of the top of the figure off camera, so you will not be seeing each and every dot being painted. But once I have painted them all, I will come back, and then we will look at the trousers, the boots, and the washes in the next step. So this is where the figure stands right now when it comes to the camo scheme. I hope you guys like it. I of course do. I will now go back and check with the instructions because I only had a drawing of them. I have to look them up on my computer. This is the end of part 7 of the painting instructions for figures. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys can take up on this, and I hope to see you guys in the next videos. So until then, see you guys. May the force be with you, and always keep your eyes and your mind open for everything that happens around you. This is Hollywood Modeling. Bye.